some noise for.
That would be me, your host, Ryan F., Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. I am said Ginch. For some odd reason, I am having some technical gremlins going on. It will not allow me to do any backgrounds like I normally can do. I'm trying everything, and for some odd reason, it just not. Technology sometimes tends to shove a red hot poker up my ass. This is one of those times. Again, I'm trying everything, but for some odd reason, it is not letting me do anything. But anywho, how you doing? How was your weekend? And of course, my headset's not working either. So it's a Monday. Chalk went up for Mondays. Continue to screw me, as most Mondays do. But I digress. So, what do we witnessed over the weekend? What were people talking about? I know what I'm going to start off with. That's University of Michigan, their football program. Where do I start? Where do I start? Basically, the NCAA, they're not going to strip them of their title. That wasn't going to happen. It was reported by Pete Thamel, Dan Wetzel of ESPN. Just some of the snippets here. Former Michigan staffer Connor Stallions referred to his advanced sign stealing operation as both counterintelligence and the KGB. Called the video, it elicited dirty film and ultimately threw his phone in a pond rather than turn it over to an NCAA investigators. Again, when we're young, what do your parents tell you to do? Tell the truth. The truth will rise to the surface. Tell the truth. When you get older, what do lawyers tell you to do? Keep your mouth shut. Don't say shit. Just let us do X, Y, and Z. So instead of owning up to it, he threw his cell phone in a river. So what do we know? 3-game suspension for current head coach Sharon Moore, with 2 games already self-imposed to be served this year in weeks 3 and 4 against Central Michigan and at Nebraska. He's also slated to miss the first week of the 2026 season, a game against Western Michigan expected to be played in Germany. Woohoo. There's also an 8-year show cause penalty for Stallions, an additional 10 show cause for former head coach Jim Harbaugh, and a fine expected to eclipse the $30 million mark for the school. Not included either the vacating of past victories or a postseason ban going forward, sanctions that many of the Wolverines' rivals felt were deserving. I'm just going to read this verbatim. In a 74-page report, the NCAA Division I Committee on Infractions details an unusually effective and nuanced investigation. Along the way, it offers a glimpse under the hood of Stallions' KGB operation and NCAA's decreasing willingness to punish its schools with sanctions that directly impact the playing field. Side note, Michigan should have been required to have a postseason ban in this case, per the report, but a new era of NCAA rules shifted that to unprecedented fines. The NCAA report, for example, reveals Stallions spent $35,000 on tickets in the secondary market in 2022 alone, part of the spend to help arrange for 52 games to be illicitly scouted. There's a mob-like reveal of what happened to the tape material from the illegal scouting trips. My film is in the bottom of the pond, Stallions is quoted as saying. It goes on, it's just a whole lot of gobbledygook, legal ramifications. Harbaugh's new 10-year show cause, for example, doesn't even kick in until 2028. When a 4-year show cause from a previous case is completed, it's all a formality since Harbaugh, 61, is entering his second year as coach of the NFL's Los Angeles Chargers. His NCAA penalties would end in 2038. He's not going to go back to college anyway. He'd be in his mid-70s by then. Not going to happen. Never stood a chance coming back to college football no matter what. He bolted. He knew it was going to come down. Just like Pete Carroll at USC. He knew it was going to come down. He rolled. So, again, what do our parents tell us when we're younger? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. When you get older, keep your mouth shut. Don't say a word. Take no accountability. I'll say this. All you Michigan jabones out there who are basically saying, oh, big deal, whatever. Look, you can say what you want. And I saw some idiot basically say, well, when Stallions was gone, we won all those games that he was gone. We still beat fantastic teams. I will go back to the fact 52 games were illicitly scouted. 52. So those said teams that they say, oh, when Stallions was gone, we still beat all those teams. 52 games were illicitly scouted. They had notes on every team they were going to play from 2021 to 2023 and probably beyond. Michigan fans, shut up. Own it. Harbaugh knew. Everybody in Michigan probably knew. Maybe the kids didn't. Maybe some of them did. I don't know. You got caught. Your staff got caught. Stop crying. You got busted. USC got busted for a hell of a lot less. They had their title vacated and wins. Now, like Pat Dye, the former Auburn coach, said way back when in 2011 or 2012, I can't remember. It was 2012 when they did the special Roll Tide, War Eagle. He said, there's no program that's lily white. And that's the truth. If you really wanted to delve deep into every program, you could probably bust every program for something. Probably could. Across the country, you could probably bust every program for some sort of infraction. Now, if this was just a case of, oh well, this booster provided houses for a couple of players' families, this is beyond. Eventually, somebody was going to get caught. Way back in the day, when the NCAA levied the death penalty against SMU, shit was running rampant in that program. But you didn't have Big Brother watching you all the time either. Is this the last of something like this? I doubt it. You'll see something in the future where teams, programs will try to get around said rules. But for coaches, like Harbaugh, who now is put an asterisk next to his name, fraud. Florida Gators fan, when all the stuff started coming about Urban Meyer and the program he was running, some of the stuff the players were doing, fraud. They don't care. It's all about the cost of winning. Whether it comes to expensive boosters who pump money into the program left and right, they will do whatever they have to win. Conference championships, national championships. This is not the end of it. something else will come out somewhere. And it always does. Back in the 70s and the 80s, you never really heard about stuff because you didn't have the technology today. You didn't have social media. Big Brother was watching to a point. But even back then, the NCAA just, turned a blind eye to some stuff. So there's other stuff that they hit Michigan with too. I'm sure everybody's read about it by now. But again, it's not going to be the end of it. There'll be different things that come out, whether it's during the season somebody does something, or in the off season, or when the bowl games are going on. We'll see. Some news and notes from around the world in sports today. Cam Ward got into it with somebody else, one of his teammates. Said he got in a scuffle with defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons. That was today. Reported by Teron Davenport Investment. Ford threw a touchdown pass to Calvin Ridley toward the end of practice and went to celebrate. The rookie quarterback stopped and gave Simmons a shove before doing his trademark Zombieland celebration in front of him. Simmons reacted with a two-hand push towards face mask, and the offensive line ran towards defense. That's news. Shit happens in practice like that all the time. But probably because he's a rookie. His offensive line came to his defense, by the way, which is always a good sign. But it must be a slow news day if you're reporting that. The Miami Dolphins have added veteran Matthew Judon to boost their pass rush. It's a one-year contract. Contract is worth up to $6 million, according to multiple reports. Miami has to do something. The defense has not been good the last couple of years. Vikings Justin Jefferson, he's back at practice after a 25-day hiatus. What else is in here? Elliot Wolf, the executive vice president of the Patriots, has said that the team is open for business if a significant trade opportunity presents itself. Says they're talking to all 31 teams. I remember Micah Parsons is out there, dissatisfied. Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals is dissatisfied. And receiver Terry McLaurin dissatisfied. So, I'm not saying those guys would go to New England, but if New England's willing to give up X, Y, and Z for a Hendrickson or a Parsons, does it improve their team drastically where they're going to make a Super Bowl? Probably not. Probably not. Zach Wheeler has undergone surgery to remove that clot that he had in his arm. Timetable for return, we do not know yet. I have a feeling that they're going to shut him down. Anybody who's ever had blood clots know that it's serious. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but I would probably say with some certainty that they were probably going to shut him down for the year, which would be much to the chagrin of Phillies fans. See what else from the NFL. Running back for the Commanders, Brian Robinson Jr. He is sitting out amid his uncertain future. This is reported by John Hessman. He will not play in tonight's preseason game against the Bengals, possibly signaling the end of his tenure with the franchise after 3 seasons. I was unaware that it was that serious there, Darren. Washington. Says here the Commanders could possibly seek a trade for him over the next several days. So fantasy footballers out there, if they trade him, you've got Chris Rodriguez Jr., Corey Krosky Merritt at running back. Also Austin Eckler. And this would be a blow to their running back room, though. Big time blow. Again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. As much as it's a passing league, if you cannot run the football in December and January to get to February and a Super Bowl, you ain't going anywhere. A la the Eagles last year. And look, Kansas City was, I asked people, I called it, they were a fraud, basically. Even though I'm a Kansas City fan, they just, Buffalo did their thing in the playoffs like they always do. Baltimore did their things in the playoffs like they always do. Cincinnati just missed out in the playoffs because of a shitty start. In Kansas City could not run the football last year. They did it with gimmicks and smoke mirrors. Period. So those are some of the news and notes from the day, the headlines. Let's go to Major League Baseball, shall we? The standings every week, like I always do. In the American League East, the Blue Jays still sit on top with a 73-52 record. Red Sox are in second now. 5 games back, 68-57. The Yankees are third, 67-57, 5.5 back. The Rays are fourth, 61-64, 12 back, and the Orioles 57-67, 15.5 back. In the Central, the Detroit Tigers still on top, 73-53. Guardians are second, 8.5 back, 63-60. Royals third, 63-61, 9 games back. Twins are fourth, 58-66, 14 back. And we'd like to thank the Chicago White Sox for participating in this year's Major League Baseball season. They are 44-80, 28 back. Out in the West, Astros back on top with a 69-55 record. Mariners second, 68-57, 1.5 back. The Rangers, who have slid back, they are 7.5 back with a 62-63 record. The Angels are fourth, 60-64, 9 back. Athletics are 56-70, 14 back. National League East, Phillies still on top, 71-53. Mets in second, 66-58, 5 back. Marlins are 59-65, 12 back. The Braves, fourth, 56-68, 15 back. And we'd like to thank the Washington Nationals for participating in this year's Major League Baseball season. 50-74, 21 back. In the Central, the Brewers, the hottest team in the Major League Baseball season thus far in this month. 79-45. Cubs are second, 70-54, 9 back. Reds third, 65-60, 14.5 back. Cardinals fourth, 61-64, 18.5 back. We'd like to thank my Pittsburgh Pirates for participating in this year's Major League Baseball season. 52-73, 27.5 back. Out in the West, Dodgers back on top, 71-53. The Padres are second, 69-55, 2 games back. Giants now 11 back in third, 60-64. The D-backs, fourth, 60-65, 11.5 back. And we'd like to thank the Colorado Rockies for participating in this year's Major League Baseball season. 35-89, 36 back. Hottest team in the American League right now. The Yankees have won 7 out of 10. The Royals 7 out of 10. Detroit back on track, 7 out of 10. Teams that are shitting the bed right now. Chicago White Sox 2-8 their last 10. Rangers 2-8 their last 10. Out there in the National League, Brewers continue to stay hot. 9 wins out of 10 games, their last 10. The teams on the slide Mets, Marlins, 3-7 their last 10. Pirates 3-7 their last 10, and the Giants 3-7 their last 10. Other than Wheeler, really nothing major other than the fact that the Dodgers swept the Padres. So the Dodgers feeling themselves a little bit again. Scores on the slate today. Right now, mid-third, the Astros Tigers scoreless. The Pirates up on the Blue Jays, top of the third, 1-0. Orioles Red Sox. That game just got underway. Marlins over the Cardinals, top of the third, 1-0. Right now, bottom of the second, Philly is all over the Mariners, 5-zip. Later on, the White Sox Braves, which should be underway soon. Rangers at the Royals, and the Brewers at the Cubs. Also earlier today, the Brewers beat the Cubs 7-0. The Dodgers are at the Rockies, the Reds are at the Angels, the Guardians at the Diamondbacks, and Giants against the Padres. The Browns have named Joe Flacco starter week 1. What else were they going to do? They weren't going to start Shador. They weren't going to start Dylan Gabriel. They weren't going to start Deshaun Watson. Well, I don't think he'll last the season. He'll eventually get hurt. What else? The Chiefs. Big loss for them on the defensive side of the ball. Felix Anudike Uzoma. He was placed on IR, effectively ending a season. It is a strained right hamstring, which I didn't think a strain. It must be really, really severe for them to stick him on the IR. That's probably going to require surgery. A lot of sites have come out with their final preseason rankings for the NFL. Whatever. I don't like getting into that. Let's see what else. NBA news. The Raptors have extended GM Bobby Webster's contract. They will not hire a president. Does not say what the contract is worth. I'm looking, but it does not say. The NBA and the union back bet limits to curb manipulation, athlete abuse. Like that's going to stop it. This reported by David Purdom, Espen. The NBA and its Players Association said this week that they support further limitations on certain types of bets to reduce the risk of manipulation and combat athlete abuse by gamblers. If you think that'll stop it, you're an idiot. See how this goes. Because players and gamblers always find ways around it. Just like players get tested for PED use. Medical science always finds a way around stuff. They just do. Golf. Is there any player hotter in any sport over the last 3 years than Scotty Scheffler? Comes from 4 back yesterday. to win the BMW Championship. He was down there in Owings Mills, Maryland, with 15 under total. And pockets 3,600,000, 360 grand. It was caddy probably. Look, he is the. There's people thought Roy was the next Tiger. They thought maybe Brooks was, maybe Jordan Spieth. But what Scotty is doing right now is the closest thing over the last 3 to 4 years, closest kind of dominance to what Tiger had from like 99 to 2002 or 99 to 2005. Just continues to rack up victories. And of course, the argument's going to be, well, a lot of fantastic golfers that play on the LIV Tour would give him a run for his money. Okay, I can see your argument. I don't disagree. But that's nor here nor there. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Right now, he is the talk of the golf world. LPGA, the Standard Portland Classic out there in Portland, Oregon. Aki Awai, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She wins 24 under total. PGA Tour champions at the Rogers Charity Classic out there in Calgary, Alberta. Richard Green wins with an 18 under total. And then the LIV tournament this week in Indianapolis. And of course, it's buffering. John Rahm lost in the playoff from what I saw yesterday. And I believe, of course, it's still buffering. Sebastian Munoz wins in a playoff, beats John Rahm. It's in the world of golf. Could be a short show tonight again. Let's see what else. NASCAR. One more race until the playoffs start. They were in Richmond on Saturday night. Austin Dillon, your winner, punches his ticket to the playoffs. Results from Saturday night. Chase Elliott finished 38th, Justin Haley 37th, John Hunter Nemechek 36th, Ryan Preece 34th, Jesse Love 33rd, Cody Ware 32nd, Riley Herbst 30th, Chris Buescher 30th, Corey Heim 29th, Bubba Wallace 28th, Noah Gragson 27th, Eric Jones 26th, Todd Gilliland 25th, Cole Custer 24th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 23rd, AJ Chicken Allmendinger 22nd, Christopher Bell was 21st, Ty Dillon 20th, Ross Chastain was 19th, Ty Gibbs 18th, Michael McDowell 17th, Kyle Busch 16th, Carson Hocevar 15th, Shane Van Gisbergen finished 14th, Chase Briscoe 13th, William Byron 12th, Zane Smith 11th, Denny Hamlin 10th, Brad Keselowski 9th, Josh Berry 8th, Daniel Suarez 7th, Kyle Larson 6th, Austin Cindric 5th, Joey Logano 4th, Ryan Blaney 3rd, Alex Bowman 2nd, and Austin Dillon, your winner. If the playoffs started today, Alex Bowman would be 16th. Tyler Reddick would be 15th. Austin Dillon 14th. Josh Berry 13th. Austin Cindric 12th. Ross Chastain 11th. Joey Logano 10th. Bubba Wallace 9th. Chase Briscoe 8th. Ryan Blaney 7th. Chase Elliott 6th. William Byron 5th. Christopher Bell 4th. Kyle Larson 3rd. Shane Van Gisbergen 2nd. Denny Hamlin would be 1st. The English Premier League kicked off. this weekend. Some scores from the weekend. Your favorite team. Hope they won. Friday it kicked off. Liverpool beat Bournemouth 4-2. That was on Friday. Then on Saturday, there it goes. Aston Villa and Newcastle United drew 0-0. Brighton and Fulham 1-1 draw. Sunderland beat West Ham 3-0. Tottenham beat Burnley 3-0, and Man City hammered Wolverhampton 4-0. On Sunday, I said on Sunday, Chelsea and Crystal Palace drew 0-0, which I'm sure did not please a lot of Chelsea fans. Nottingham Forest 3, as this continues to update here. I have to apologize as it continues to buffer. Try this again. Nottingham Forest 3, Brentford 1, and Arsenal beat Man U 1-0. Today, Leeds beat Everton 1-0. So the Premier League back in full swing. Didn't see any NHL news. Stuff I went over last week. Don't forget this Thursday, locally here at Bellier's Bar and Grill, my college football preview, 2025 preview special from 6 o'clock to whenever it ends. If you're local, come on out, have a bite to eat, have a tasty beverage. And if you're tuning in from across the country, tune in. Many guests lined up, jam-packed with information. I will be making my 12-team playoff picks. I'm not going to seed them because I think that's just a joke. Ryder Cup less than a month away. Not a month away, actually. Somewhere in there. Looking through some other news and notes to see if anything has come across the ticker. I'll do this for shits and giggles. ESPN came out with their final preseason rankings. The final preseason rankings are as such. They have the Titans ranked 32nd, Saints 31st, the Browns 30th, Giants 29th, Jets 28th, the Carolina Panthers 27th. They have the Colts 26th, the Raiders 25th, the Jaguars 24th, Patriots 23rd, Cardinals 22nd, the Bears 21st, Dolphins 20th, Falcons 19th, the Cowboys 18th, the Seahawks 17th, Steelers 16th, the 49ers 15th, the Chargers 14th, the Buccaneers 13th, the Texans 12th, Broncos 11th, Vikings 10th, Bengals 9th, Rams 8th, Packers 7th, Commanders 6th, Lions 5th, Ravens 4th, Bills 3rd, the Chiefs 2nd, and the Eagles 1st. Even as a Kansas City Chiefs fan, the Chiefs are ranked too high. Some of these others I question. Buccaneers, Texans probably where they should be. think the Broncos should be a little bit higher. Vikings at 10th might be a stretch. Bengals, because of their defense, are probably at 9th for them. The Rams and the Packers could flip-flop either. So we'll see. WNBA, ladies and gentlemen, give the ladies some nerve. Let's go to the standings, shall we? The Lynx on top, 28-5. They've clinched the playoff berth. Dreamer in second, 22-12, 6.5 back. The Liberty third, 21-13, 7.5 back. Mercury fourth, 20-13, 8 back. The Aces are 21-14, they're 8 back. Indiana Fever sits 6th, 19-16, 10 back. And the Valkyries are 7th, 18-16, 10.5 back. The Storm, 8th, 17-18, 12 back. Sparks Mystics, 16-18, 12.5 back. The Wings, Sky, and the Sun. We'd like to thank them for participating in this year's WNBA season. No scores from today. They have the day off. Scores from over the weekend. Friday looked like there was a full slate almost. Mystics beat the Fever 88-84. The Valkyries over the Sky 90-59. Sparks over the Wings 97-96. The Storm over the Dream 80-78. And the Aces over the Mercury 86-83. Saturday, the Lynx beat the Liberty 86-80. And then yesterday, Fever beat the Sun 99-93. Mystics over the Sparks 95-86. Aces over the Wings 106-87. Mercury over the Storm 85-82. And the Dream over the Valkyries 79-63. Again, MMA, don't really follow it. There's other people with Cole County Entertainment. That's right. My show is on Cole County Entertainment. Thanks again to those guys. Check out some of their other shows. They'll be covering MMA, I'm sure. Big time following. I used to follow it in its infancy up until like the end of the 2000s, and then I just stopped watching for some reason. So I think I'm going to end it there. Oh, world of college football. Just some news and notes and tidbits. Ohio State's named second-year player Julian Sayin as their starting quarterback. Remember, he is from California. He signed with Alabama but transferred to Ohio State when Nick Saban retired, so he gets the nod to start against Texas. Against Texas and Penn State, the unanimous 1-2 to start the season. Cal's named freshman starting their freshman Jerron Kiwe as their starting quarterback. He's a true freshman. Big blow for Texas Tech. Quinton Joyner, their projected starting running back, he has missed the season with a knee injury, unfortunately. It happened in the Saturday scrimmage. So next man up. Unfortunately, hopefully he will be on his way to recovery. Go to the ACC. Stanford has named Oregon State transfer Ben Gulbranson as QB1. He beat out Elijah Brown to earn the starting job. They open up with Hawaii. Auburn is going to retire Cam Newton's number 2 jersey. And the only other thing I saw was Syracuse names ex-Irish QB Steve Engeli as their starter. So I think I'm going to end it there. Hopefully I can work out the kinks. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but what are you going to do? There's more important things in the world to be worried about than the kinks in this show. So, as I end each show, practice compassion, practice empathy, a passion for what you do. Hug somebody. You might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. You might not get a second chance. For God's sakes, if you see somebody struggling, inquire. Ask questions. What might be wrong? You just might be saving a life. Until tomorrow, there's only one thing left to do. Dandy Don, take me out.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.